What's good? You already know you're rocking with your boy Czar, all rights reserved. Now I'm going to take time to address something. I may have something a little later for you guys, but as of now, you know how it goes. Hit that paypal.me, capital THE, capital CZARR. Support your boy and the growth of the channel as I build to try to grow to do field investigations to help the evidence become more precise as I still keep up with my commenters who deliver awesome theories, awesome viewpoints, and awesome comments down in the comment section that I truly do appreciate. Now, one thing I want to put out there is this is going to be a discussion about the blood around the neck that was in the picture that I do have. And I wanted to say this. It's not just about the blood, okay? Even though there's blood there and it goes against, let's say, an attempt of things that we've already discussed. I said bloodless, but maybe I should have put it like this. The damage is not consistent with the weaponry being explained. Now, let me get into a little bit of detail of that because I don't know if everyone knows their weapons, which is an MP5. To be hit at any range, but let's say maybe like 20 feet away, there should be massive damage. Like the neck area should be destroyed because of that type of weapon hitting him, especially the closer he was. There should be more blood than a little bit in that area. This whole chest area from his neck down should be soaked. You're not going to bleed just a little bit. That's what I don't understand. Now, I'm not saying now that there was no weapon used or no type of damage done, allegedly, from the evidence we're looking at. But you can't tell me that those weapons cause that minimal of damage to that area, especially if you know anything about your body and how your blood is connected when running up to your head. It would have been a massive amount. There wouldn't have been a question of us whether or not he got shot. I have a quick question for everyone. And you know, I'm going to begin to do things different, videos different, proposing things, just ideology to help inspire my critical thinkers. If you've ever seen a video or some type of damage that was for a shooting, did you ever have to question yourself whether someone was shot? That's my issue. And that's why I want everyone to think critically about many different other options unless we have an autopsy report that says otherwise, and a toxicology report to also show otherwise to other theories. Think. You never had to ask yourself, oh, shoot. You just was like, oh, shoot, he got shot. Now, I could see the casings and the evidence and the pictures, but remember, I also know objectively all this stuff can be edited in. There's many different forms and ways you can edit these things in. Even seeing the documents I have. Now, am I lying? Am I telling non-truths? No. It's a fact. There is video that really helps to edit in different things. So to sit here and say he can only have been shot would be very, let's say, neglectful of me to actually sit there and make some type of comment of that nature, knowing that video edits have gotten so much better over time. And that song's trash. So that it got so much better over time. And just to know where technology's at, objectively, isn't it possible? Now, I'm saying this because we didn't get video footage released. All I have is images of X going in and then an alleged image of him leaving out. The same way the pictures that we have on suspects were claimed to have come from an earlier year, couldn't those images have been from an earlier year? Even if he's wearing the same thing. How many times have we re-put on the same clothes that we had because we were on the run trying to get to somewhere and get away? What I'm doing is I'm trying to help you to think and see things at a broader view instead of just accepting what's being said. All of this is said. So I have a question. If all of this is being said in newspapers, said in documents, what's the difference between hearsay that we've seen on social media that got snatched down, allegedly, from what I understand as well, and is no longer available? What's the difference? There really is no difference. Where's the circumstantial evidence that's going to lead to more factors, like fingerprints and other things that clearly show someone was involved in something or someone was actually in the midst of doing something they shouldn't have? So that's what I'm saying. We don't have these factors present. We just have word of mouth that suspects were involved in this, suspects were involved in that. And then we have an outcome that's pointing to the fact that other people may have been involved in doing certain things. With this being the case, we need stronger evidence. There needs to be a stronger avenue, a stronger, let's say, presence of investigation work done by investigators to help prove what they're trying to say. We got to stop accepting what's handed to us and start investigating with our eyes and ears. And that is how we develop true theories. Now, it might get a little loud because you got to understand, as I'm delivering this still, you got people walking up just talking. And they ain't talking about nothing. I'm just keeping it real. I'm very observant. I hear conversations in many different spots. So, and this is very important. And I want to mention that because in my comment section, it was lit talking about different things like, oh, see, there's blood here, there's blood there. When in actuality, there's no type of situation that mainly shows that there was blood handed out in some type of way, shape, or form to take away the theories that were handed to me. Not even the commenters' theories. I really can't answer them. So if you're dropping good theories, don't worry. I don't have nothing against you. I just can't answer them because when I'm observing it, I'm asking the same questions. And I'm thinking many different theories myself, but that's answer to when I did the bloodless crime scene. People were like, oh, there was some blood. See, I even got a commenter that dived into my inbox on Twitter, which I respect, and showed me a picture that showed a little blood. But you're telling me someone gets hit at that shorter range with that type of weapon, and the only blood that's seen is the little bit of blood around the neck area? That's not common. That's very not common. And what actually would have happened on a normal case is there would have been a large pool of blood, even pooled around his feet. Let me say this, that I've seen many photos of accidents. I've seen many photos of different crime scenes, and I've investigated them as reference. Every crime scene I saw that had casings and things on the ground, not only was there damage to the vehicle extensively, regardless, so these people were perfect shooters. We already seen the 4 suspects, regardless of what they were in, saying he wouldn't give it up. That doesn't answer how he sat perfectly back in the seat. What was he fighting if they had guns and he was sitting in his seat? Now, let's say he did not have his seatbelt on, which, to be real with you, I didn't see if it was on or off. I really can't tell in the picture, but that's another important factor. When did this man climb out to fight back against people trying to take it, and they're saying he wouldn't give it up? You mean you asked him, hey, can I take that bag out your back seat? No, then you just shot him or something? Like, that would be the only thing that could answer what they're trying to say actually happened. And this is me examining the evidence in a very objective way. He should have been laid out or laid in the car a different way if you're trying to tell me he was shot. Even the force of a gun that close range, an MP5 at close range, you're telling me that there was very little blood, he wouldn't give it up, he got shot and sat down perfectly in the seat when he was fighting back in the first place. A lot of it's not making sense. That doesn't make sense. Even that narrative I gave to you doesn't make any sense. And that would fit with the crime scene I saw, but let alone there were casings on both sides. So how were you really blocked in? You mean the Riva Motorsports gate blocked you in from behind and you had one car in front of you blocking you in? That would be the only thing that I could think of. And I don't know why she's sitting here. She's on the phone, like, keep moving. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Y'all got to cut that out. Like, I'm not trying to hear what you're jamming to. I don't care. I don't care what you're listening to. I don't listen to your music. Whatever you're listening to in the whip, I don't listen to it. I don't understand that. So my point of reference is that the amount of blood was not fitting to the crime that was committed. The amount of blood does not even fit the weaponry that was committed. And with the amount of people and the fact that there were 2 shooters at least, due to the casings on the location of the casings I seen them, there should have been way more blood. Let alone there should have been bullet holes all in the car. So the fact that these 2 things were missing from the scene, it leads me to believe that there was speculation to other incidents or further crimes done in a different manner to cause him to be in that state. Now, let me say this real quick. And Indy, to add to my point, there is one way that there would have been a little bit of blood. And when I say a little bit of blood, there wouldn't have been a lot of blood and the amount of blood that we seen around the neck area when the guns were fired the way they were. That one way would have been if he was already deceased. You see, because he would have already not had warm running blood through his veins, rigor mortis would have already had set in if he was previously gone, and little bit of blood may have come out. It wouldn't have run out. If he was already deceased in some other way, shape, or form, now we'll investigate in the video tomorrow the amount of time it takes for blood to basically dry up. This is my intro to that, to understanding how this scene with a little bit of blood in the neck area would have been validated. Yes, there would have been very little blood if he was already deceased and sitting in the car and that occurred. And they just shot a body that was already gone. That's how a little bit of blood would have happened. It would not have been he was alive fighting back. Those things would not have been a factor the way that's being pronounced to us. So yes, we're entering a new theory and thinking that if all the evidence we're handed is true, Tentacion may have already been deceased sitting in the car in order for that small amount of blood to have leaked out of his sweatshirt. And we're just examining the blood that was in the neck area. There was none on the chest. There was none on the back. And that is from the picture I have that clearly shows the location of how the blood was placed on his shirt. And, or let me say, the hoodie he was wearing. So this is a new terminology of thinking and something we're going to delve into. And hopefully later I get some time, but I may want to talk about something else because I chose to talk about this over something else. So you know I got to bounce back and catch everything. Subscribe, hit that bell beside the subscription button, and get ready for tomorrow, or if not tonight. So keep the notification on, hit that bell so you catch it if I come out with a new hit, and you already know how I rock. All rights reserved.